Hello there, Internet. MegaMogwai here, and I got another Legends of Runeterra video for you guys today. And today we are going to bring back your boy HECARIM, the king of the open beta, has finally returned to a potential top tier status, which is very exciting. Though, as I'm about to explain, or rather, English here, once I explain why this deck is viable, you probably won't be as surprised, as yet again we are going to feature Grand Plaza. Grand Plaza is the best landmark from the Call the Mountain expansion, a landmark that many are at this point speculating will receive a nerf. I personally advocate for a +1 attack boost only. I think that would fix the card completely, and that would make it balanced and still viable at the same time, especially in decks like this. So I really would hope that if it does get nerfed, that would be the change, because it is true that this card has proven to be a little bit too good. It's done a lot of good for the game, in my opinion, because it's enabled so many different archetypes to, like, actually, it's even made Katarina, like, played by other people than myself, you know, which is shocking, right? But unfortunately, it's a little bit too global right now, and it feels like half of the meta is this card, so I don't know. I do feel like after this is slightly nerfed, it'll be completely fine, and it'll be perhaps one of the coolest and greatest cards in the game, because, you know, despite its status right now as perhaps a little bit overpowered, I think the card itself is awesome design, and I just absolutely love the fact that it's a part of the game. And I really like the fact that a landmark is one of the defining forces in the meta, because that's not something that you would really expect a few months back, right? So this is a deck that basically aims to, in a way, or not in a way, like directly, patch up the biggest hole ephemeral decks have as a strategy, and that is defense, right? We don't really have the ability to set up many blockers, because most of our attackers are actually dying once they strike. That is what ephemerals do. So while we do have the potential to build up some crazy offense, we are wide open on defense. So the way to mitigate that is by converting our offense into our defense, and that is what Grand Plaza does. Grand Plaza does not only buff up our ephemeral units, which actually leads to some really nutty value with cards like Haunted Relic and Onslaught of Shadows, but it also provides these units with challengers. So all of a sudden, our ephemeral units that die upon striking can trade with other units. That's what I mean by offense becoming defense. We use our attacks to deal with the opponent's threats, and therefore we have to worry about less of a hit the next turn. Haunted Relic also, unless we're dealing with an open attack, can be useful to stopping a built-up attack as well. So this deck can really punish decks that try to build up a strong attack instead of going for the open attack immediately, and I like that about it as well. Like this, having this card in our deck as a 3-of really does play some mind games when it comes to our defense turns. And when it comes to the curve, you guys can see we have Bark Beast, Lucian, and then Senna, you know, the Lucian Senna core with a triple set of Shark Chariot, Soul Shepherd, which is kind of like a Grand Plaza on a stick, except it doesn't give Challenger, but you know, these effects do stack up, and when you're playing a Onslaught of Shadows and you're getting 2 4/4s with Challenger, and you got some Shark Chariots waiting in the back, that just feels really neat, man. Grizzled Ranger, a card that you absolutely play with Grand Plaza. I don't really see a deck that doesn't feature this in a Grand Plaza deck, because we just get insane value out of this 4-drop. Chronicler of Ruin puts in a lot of work in this deck because of synergies with Senna and Lucian. We can use her onto Senna to level up Lucian. We can also use the Chronicler of Ruin on a pinch, even on a Shark Chariot, to create an extra copy of it. We can use it on other units as well, like Grizzled Ranger, and we get some really good value. But the main aspect of Chronicler of Ruin, the thing that I really like about it is, on top of all these things that she does, she works really well with Grand Plaza, because we can sack a unit, resummon it, and as we are summoning it, we will be giving it +1/+1 and Challenger for that round, alongside the +1 or the 4/4 Challenger body that we will have with the Chronicler of Ruin, which makes her an excellent alternative 4-drop in this deck. As in the late game, we got motherfucking HECARIM coming in and just blowing the opponent back. We can combine HECARIM with HECARIM is amazing with Grand Plaza, not only because this also boosts, you know, the Spectral Riders and all that good stuff, but one of the biggest things is the fact that because HECARIM gains Challenger and Overwhelm are two very, very nasty keywords together. That's why the Savage Reckoner, for example, you probably don't know what card that is. Look it up. That's why that card sees no play whatsoever, because it's so badly statted, but it has to be poorly statted to justify Challenger and Overwhelm in the same unit, because once you do that, you challenge the weakest health unit and you get a very strong hit off on the opponent with your Overwhelm plus your incoming Spectral Riders. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the deck list right there with a couple of Rekindlers on top to get, you know, Lucian and HECARIM back on the board and keep coming at the opponent. Shoutouts to Bruised by God. I actually did not mention this at the beginning of the video, but that is actually why we have that name there, Bruised by Plaza. Bruised by God is the deck builder here. I always make sure that I give credit to deck creators when I showcase a deck on the channel that's not mine. Since as a deck builder myself, I feel like now, ever since we transitioned to the digital... Ever since we transitioned to the digital era, that's like a very difficult phase for me. I can't talk, dude. That is a very difficult phrase for me to say. I just have to speak slower, I think. I think that will solve many problems that I have. Regardless, shoutouts to Bruised by God. Phenomenal deck list. Really solid. The only thing that I don't like about this deck is that it does really depend on Grand Plaza. Like, you mulligan aggressively for Grand Plaza pretty much close to every matchup. There are some exceptions, right? But the majority of the times, you full mulligan for Grand Plaza. You do all you can, because drawing this card or not makes a world of a difference in a build like this. And that's why I feel like the consistency in this deck can be somewhat hindered. But ultimately, I think this deck cycles through itself really well with a full set of Glints Beyond. And some games you will be extremely unlucky, but most of the time you will be able to find the Grand Plaza eventually, and it's not like the deck cannot play or compete without it, right? But if you do find it, oh boy, the value is just insane. So I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to let the gameplay speak for itself. Have a solid day. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra content. Currently away, but I did bulk record for you guys. Talking as if I were in the future or something. So hopefully you guys appreciate that. And that's all I got to say. If you do, leave a like. That'll help me out. And subscribe if you haven't already. It's free. What are you doing? Thank you. Enjoy the video. I'll see you tomorrow. And here we go. I clicked on record and it queued. Like, it was taking a while to queue into a game. And it queued in and I didn't even realize. So yeah, let's get started. We're facing Trundle Aurelian Soul, it seems. We have a very promising curve here. I don't think we need this. I think this is one of the cases in which we're definitely dropping you and you. I think this is one of the cases in which we can actually afford to not, like, mulligan like crazy for Grand Plaza, because this is a control matchup, right? So in this matchup, it's more about us curving properly. Love Shark Chariot here, by the way. Shark Chariot enabling the Bark Beast, getting us 6 damage in turn 2, bitch. And we're only going harder from here onwards. Pun intended for go hard, I guess. Oh, and just in time. Just in time, baby. Oh, ooh, okay. I thought for a second Divergent Paths was gonna be a thing. We could see Targon's Peak here. Even if they have something like Ice Quake, we will survive, which is hilarious. Okay, just Trundle. Fantastic. Fantastic, because we can knock him out. The synergy! Let's drag you here, drag you here. Get your boy. Oh my god! Oh, you're king of nothing! Oh, the power! Oh my god, this is not even fair! I love how we didn't even, like, full mulligan for Grand Plaza and didn't even get punished. Just because we're that good. Alright, alright. It ain't that easy. I do very much like the idea of Grizzled. Okay, so next turn, what could they have? I wasn't expecting the Solaris Sunforger, but it does make sense in a deck like this. I want to have single combat enabled, so I think the best way to encourage this is doing this. Because he really wants that health gain, right? And meanwhile, we get to do this. We get to play the Badger Bear, who gives us an extra attack. Also allows us to survive a board wipe. Like if they have something, I mean, if they have something like an Ice Quake, then we win. If they have health gain like that, I don't believe that's enough. They definitely need a unit here. Like 100% need a unit here. I could even be inclined to like single combat it if it's small enough. Yes. They have to hush this. Okay, just give me a second, because the only way they did it, they didn't play Spacey Sketcher, so they can't have the Moonlight card. So it doesn't matter what we hit him with. Let's just hit him with this. We're in single combat because we're going for the kill here. So we're doing this first. We don't quite get all the spaces, but it should suffice. Yeah. Balanced. Alright, let's go for another one. Alright, round 2. As this time we go up against Leona, Asol, which, you know, you bet your ass does have this card right here. We have turn 1 Bark Beast, turn 3 Senna. Honestly, like, I'm gonna mulligan Senna and Chronicler. Because I do happen to attack on turn 4, so I can play Grand Plaza on curve. Did I just forget to... I just forgot to play this. I just got distracted. Well, oh well. What are you gonna do? I do have to attack with this. Just because it helps me level up HECARIM. It really is a shame. I mean, to be fair, yeah, it's definitely a shame. But I mean, I can play this next turn with Challenger, so is it that bad? I mean, yes, because I wanted to play Grizzled Ranger on curve, right? Yeah, it's definitely a big derp. I mean, I am saving up more spell mana this way by not playing Bark Beast, and I can always use him later. So it's not the end of the world, but... Alright, so he is very likely to be going for the Falling Comet. The thing is, he can't play that next turn anyways. I have several options here. Like, I could go Grizzled Ranger, but I could also go Onslaught of Shadows. I feel like Grizzled Ranger is too good now, though. The difference is I can play Onslaught on Shadows and Bark Beast. This allows me to clear up these 2 units and allows me to push a little bit of damage and progress the level up as well. Because then I can Grizzled Ranger with Chronicler of Ruin, potentially. Yeah, especially because next turn, I do plan on attacking... Yeah, I may as well work for that, actually. I'm gonna go for this. This way, I keep the single combat enabled, which is really neat. And Bark Beast comes down. If he does have something like single combat, he actually will lose... You know, the shield bearer into it, which would be the only thing that would be able to knock it out.
They will not escape punishment.
Let's do it like this. 6 cards in hand. We get that continuous value going. They don't do anything. They don't even play Grand Plaza that turn, which is really big for us.
Her light is our sword, her warmth our armor. Yeah.
I'm gonna play the Grizzled Ranger. If he wants to attack, then it's right there. He could hush me. I'm gonna try to do this. Am I? No, I'd rather have the mana enabled. Because thanks to the buff, he can't kill me with a single combat, nor a concerted strike.
Unyielding light.
And now I get to basically attack. I mean, I should probably challenge you. Turtle! Okay, let's show him the power here. We have a shitload of stats, and if he does have a concerted strike, we have a counter in single combat because we chose not to go for the Gliss Beyond last turn. So if he concerted strikes here, we knock him out. 100%. Yep! Got him! That. No. Oof, oof. Almost miskicked. Why is it not showing? There we go. Beautiful. Gotcha. Hey, nice. Nice. HECARIM kill, baby. For the video. Love it. Alright, let's go for another one. Okay, it seems like we're running into a very similar matchup, but not going full on HECARIM. I don't know if that's a good idea though. Like Callista is good too. Not gonna lie. Callista's pretty good with Grand Plaza as well. But I'm more of a fan of going all in on HECARIM because I think HECARIM is a little bit better in this particular deck. I'm gonna keep the Bark. I kind of want to mulligan aggressively for Grand Plaza. But I'm just gonna mulligan away these two.
Oh, hello there.
Interesting.
Let's see what's out there.
I'm not gonna block into that. I'm gonna take the hit. I wonder if this could be the Undying, actually. Could be many things. We find the Rekindler, which, you know, is not really a good draw here at the state of the game. We could have gone for an aggressive mulligan towards that. I'm gonna attack with this. Alright. This is funny. Like triple Bark Beast.
Sure is dark, eh?
May as well.
There's a chill in the air. Bring in the heat.
Still a lot of damage. We have the single combat for Lucian in case, I really would like to play you, but we're gonna have to wait. I think we gotta go with the, what's the point of this right now? We didn't get to play the Shark or anything. Like, we just get good value out of this, right? But I can't play Grizzled Rage. I cannot have, I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna make him believe that he can. I'm gonna attack with these two for HECARIM. I'm gonna take that hit. Man, just like the lack of Grand Plaza is really hurting us. Unfortunately, we just drew really poorly here. I'm going to try to just at least get some value and some damage going off here. We don't have to worry about ruination, and we have to go full on offensive here. His HECARIM is about to be leveled up, unfortunately, and it's not like we got anything else going on for us. Like, this Rekindler draw was really unfortunate.
I got something. Feels like a biggin.
And I think this is a very good example of, like, you know, whoever draws Grand Plaza in the mirror has a pretty decent advantage. Well, finally we get a Lucian. I just don't know if we have enough blockers. Like, it seems crazy considering we have like 4 units on the board and my opponent has nothing right now, right? But
Oh, hello there.
all right.
Push back the darkness.
I mean, if he doesn't get an ephemeral, he has no attack this turn. Please don't get him HECARIM. If he gets HECARIM, he wins. Okay.
There you are. Come this way.
That's insane. That's actually insane. he actually managed to, like, wow, buy the lottery. Jesus, go and buy the lottery, buddy. I cry every time. My God. Well, hopefully we can draw Grand Plaza for the next one. All right. I would assume just overwhelm the movie. So this matchup could very well end up being a race. We're gonna hard mulligan for a Grand Plaza. Like, we don't care. We want Grand Plaza. Like, that's like we don't want to go through that other game again. Like, we want to draw Grand Plaza so we actually, you know, do things right. Especially in a matchup like this in which they can start developing threats. We want to be able to potentially pick them off. That's like the one aspect that I'm not crazy about this deck on, right? Like, I love that ephemerals are finally like super competitive, but I don't like the way they are being competitive, right? Like, I don't like the fact that they rely so heavily on a card. Though, to be fair, like, I have done really well with this deck. And I have indeed, in fact, won games without Grand Plaza. Given these games,
This is mercy.
I'm gonna attack. May as well.
Fail.
My Bark Beast is all grown up now. And there's still no Grand Plaza. Now, one of the things about these games that I was mentioning prior is that we did manage to curve Lucian into Senna and threaten an early Lucian level up. That's not the case here. We're gonna go. I don't mind Chronicler of Ruin here, honestly. It's good value. 4 mana, 3/3 and 3/4. Like, I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty damn good. Not as good as a 1 mana 5/5, but
I'll spot him. Here we go.
now we got a lot of attackers. 1 mana 5/5 will be coming anytime now.
Warm hearts and hot soup.
That's a thick boy. Alright, we're gonna pass here. Carry over the spell mana and try to build up. How's our HECARIM looking like? Nothing. Okay. Yeah, this is another odd game. Like, rarely any ephemeral stuff going on here. But I kind of just want to play a HECARIM anyways. I'm just gonna pass.
Let's take this outside.
I'm gonna try 2 glimpse here. We prevent a little bit of damage this way, and we get to draw through our deck. Because I really want to find Grand Plaza. Like, I value a Grand Plaza turn more than HECARIM. We do not find it, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't get in my way.
Hope he doesn't have an avalanche. Or an ice quake.
What will you have?
I want to level up Lucian. What about a single cap now? Okay, now we're talking. Finally! We have double single combat in the back.
These old eyes still see far and clear.
And now we get to play Grizzled Ranger with Challenger, which just makes all the difference in the world. We get to attack like this, threaten this Tavern Keeper, and as the Tavern Keeper dies, we get to level up Lucian. They've shown Calling Strike, but besides Calling Strike and, like, you know, offensive Sejuani, they don't have many ways to deal with this. And the moment we Chronicler next turn... Okay, interesting. I'll bring them peace. I wasn't planning on attacking with Lucian anyways. But he could have a Calling Strike is the thing. Alright, we get to rally if we get to do this correctly, so... I'm gonna deal with this. I'm gonna attack with these two. I love Lucian, man. Lucian is such a cool champion. I don't care if this deck revolves around one card, man. It's so fun. I don't care about people complaining about Grand Plaza. It's so fun. Who's gonna close up? Ugh. And now we get to attack like this. I'm surprised they don't use this to chump though. I guess they're holding on to it for later because they're really afraid of Lucian, which they should be.
For the thrill of battle.
Okay, so that's a very threatening attack, but the beautiful thing about this, that can deal a lot of damage, right?
Alright, let's mess some folks up. This'll be a slaughter.
I have to take this hit. Because I do this. And now I have 2 attacks. One with this, which I can use to remove that. And then we can start working for the kill here.
Here we go. Light the signal fire.
Spawn that to remove that out of the way. And go for lethal. Oh! Look at that! Double kill! God, that was hot! The PM! Oh, that was hot. Not gonna lie, that was hot. I was gonna say something else, but I actually just kind of like forgot about it. Another one. This brings me back to like August? When this was actually a thing, like Braum, Anivia. We are going to mulligan everything. in hopes for Grand Plaza and other stuff. Lucian is nice. Rekindler is also nice. This is the kind of matchup in which I want to see the Rekindler. Because it's Anivia, I mean, because they're playing Braum, they can always resurrect Anivia with a Rekindler anyway. So Braum is a champion that works very well in conjunction with Anivia because of that. But the problem of playing Braum with Anivia, the reason why I don't like that is because Braum interferes with on-treat. So ultimately, it makes the deck less consistent in pulling off the late game. And I don't know if it needs Braum to effectively. I mean, Braum does provide a lot for the deck, though. Like, Braum is definitely gonna be annoying for us.
Don't get in my way.
Lucian into Senna, but this is like one of the few matchups in which we gotta be careful about it.
Get me out of here.
Because Avalanche is a thing. I would love to find Glimpse Beyond.
What's that noise?
Man, do they have Avalanche? I really hope they don't.
They're as good as dead.
I'm gonna try. I'm risking it, big time.
I must get out of here.
Oh boy, here we go. I love the Grand Plaza, but we're going Chronicler, baby. Senna! Oh, hello. Hi there, Senna. I thought you died. Well,
Is on the job. Burn away the shadows.
Disturbs me.
Please, I have connections.
I know I'm giving him the body,
It is easy.
but I do want to start clearing his chump blockers so that you know, when we set this
Fight.
sexy Grand Plaza.
We should be friends.
Yeah, you don't want to attack with that, do you? Are you sure you want to attack with this? That's risky as hell, bruh.
Good luck. Have fun.
Yeah.
Come on in. Good times, good friend. What could be better?
All right, let's mess some folks up.
Won't catch me. Damn soon. This is mercy. My shield is my sword. Have you met my shield? Look how we have grown!
All right. We gotta go for the Relentless Pursuit.
My talons are frost, my wings the bitter winds.
And Braum is your wingman.
Khan, the journey ahead is long. Do not fear, Dad. Missed a chance to run. History is anguish. Purity and peace.
Because if he has something like a take heart, then I will get to rally again. Nice.
Stay safe, my friend.
Time to reflect. Sons, death comes.
And now we open attack again.
One candle for every soul.
I mean, the moment he attacks with Anivia and he kills like with Lucian on the board.
Nothing escapes my watch.
The Freljord's eternal guardian! Do not fear death.
I'm gonna go with an open attack.
I protect this place.
Join the conflagration.
Ready the torches.
I'm gonna glimpse in response to remove the spiderling as a blocker. Even though that was risky in its own, like I was kind of bluffing there. What I was bluffing was me having like another way to trigger Lucian, right? And now we get to activate Senna. Very relevant.
We burn, then kindle anew.
As now, did my HECARIM die? My HECARIM did not die. Do I even have like resources? Have I even played Shark Chariots? I don't think I have, even though they would be ideal for this matchup. So we just need to like navigate around. I mean, what am I better off doing? I think there is an argument for... Rekindler? Nah. It has to be this. It has to be the Soul Shepherd. And HECARIM. To battle. Because HECARIM has Overwhelm, which means I can target the Anivia. And that would just prove to be overwhelming. I also have thicker stat lines in my attack because I will be keeping some of these guys in the bench. And that is a wrap, boys. Nice. That Braum gave us a little bit of trouble, but because that deck doesn't really have Braum synergy, and what I mean by Braum synergy is like, you know, more stuff like Troll Chant and level up, by the way. More stuff like, you know, Troll Chant and you know, Take Heart, Fury of the North, or health, you know, health game boost, like even Elixir of Iron, stuff like that to keep Braum alive. Without that stuff, Braum just becomes a decent middle game play for them. It's still good in the deck, but I still do believe the version without Braum is superior. Even though in that particular game, because of the deck that we're playing, Braum was a little bit scary, right? Because if that was a pure Braum deck with like buffs and everything, we could actually be in massive trouble because he would be able to completely rebuild his board again and again, and it would be very high. It's very difficult for us to power through like very high health units, especially those with regeneration with a deck like this. So you gotta keep that in mind. But really good showcase of Bruised by Gods. You know, Grand Plaza Ephemerals. I definitely think, you know, there are several ways to build this archetype, though I'm a big fan of this one. It's very straight to the point, and I like the distributions a lot. It's it seems pretty consistent, you know, for the kind of deck that it is, and ultimately it just feels good to play Shark Chariot in a top tier deck. You know, I never thought I would see the day, even if it is with Grand Plaza. If you're tired of Grand Plaza and you don't want to play this deck just because it's another deck with the Grand Plaza, I understand. But I really felt like this was a worthy list to showcase because it brings back HECARIM to the big leagues, and I just think that any deck that can do that is worth sharing. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra content. This video will have gone up on the 24th, so it's not quite Christmas yet, but hopefully you guys have a Merry Christmas tomorrow, English, and I'll see you guys around with a video tomorrow. Bye bye.